we may be asking ourselves, why would people be interested in interfering in an election? What does it get you? And it depends on which party you're talking about. There are three classifications that I like to think about of potential people, potential groups that would like to interfere in the election. You have your foreign nation state actors, your domestic criminals, and your politicians and politically affiliated groups in the state. A foreign nation state has several motivations to attack an election. The one that has garnered the most coverage, likely because it is one of the most partisan and theater-ready reasons for an interfering election, is to get a favored politician, a favored political candidate into power. Russia has admitted to favoring Donald Trump and helping him win in the 2016 election. Now, to put the brakes on that, it is not exactly clear how much influence the election interference by Russia had in 2016. For example, it's not clear that if they hadn't been involved at all, that Trump would not have won. Much more clearly reflected in the polls is the fact that James Comey reopened an investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails just a couple days before the election. Regardless of who a nation state supports, if it does explicitly support a particular candidate, that is not the main focus of a foreign nation state's interference in an election. As demonstrated very clearly by Russia, the primary motivation for interfering in an election is to undermine the democracy and democratic process. And according to polls about American trust in the security of elections, Russia's efforts and our coverage of them have been working. Non-democratic countries are strengthened when democratic adversaries are weakened, or so goes the logic, as explained by think tanks, senators, and various other national politicians on intelligence committees, as well as each one of our national security agencies. If you're thinking about a domestic attack on an election, such as a ballot fixer in rural North Carolina, or back in the day, a political machine fixer like Daley in Chicago in the 1950s and 60s, it's for power. That's been a feature of American democracy since its inception. The line of what is legal or illegal, constitutional or unconstitutional, is always shifting. Allocating fewer voting machines to precincts with certain demographic of voters, for example, may not be against the law as statutes are written, but if found out could result in a successful legal case. Rejecting absentee ballots that are also from a particular demographic of voter may not be illegal as written in the statutes, but once challenged, as seen in Georgia, becomes against the law. Certain types of gerrymandering, likewise, are legal until lawsuits overturn them. Finally, we have the problem of domestic criminals. The reasons why domestic criminals would interfere in an election is because it is a high-value target. Ransomware installed on county computer systems could cripple or make very difficult the management of an election. That could possibly make it more likely that counties are willing to pay what is required for the computer systems to be restored. And therefore, there is a monetary interest in domestic criminals targeting county or statewide election systems around the time of an election.